We are thrilled to we're thrilled to be here tonight with the City of Irvine to share how this program can help you explore solar, battery storage, EV charging, and other ways of adopting clean energy in your home. So I'm also joined by the rest of the OCGO Solar team, some members of the City of Irvine, as well as our program contractors for this year. And so we just like to go ahead and quickly introduce ourselves before we get started. So, Sanait, can you go ahead?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Tanait Forthall, and I am the Executive Director of OCGO Solar. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And then Randy, can you go ahead?
Hi, I'm Randy Crane. I'm the chair of the board of Osico Solar. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. And then Alexis?
Hi everyone, I'm Alexis. I'm the Community Program Specialist for Oseago Solar, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And Zoe Bell.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I am a student intern for OCGO Solar. Thanks.
All right. And then we have William.
Good evening. Yes, my name is William Barrow and I'm with Simply Solar.
Thank you. And Harina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Harina Kapoor. I am the other solar contractor. Welcome and join us. Looking forward to talking to you soon today.
Thank you. And then we also have Chris from the ICAM Solar team. Yeah, go
Hi,
ahead.
I'm Chris with ICAM Solar. I'm here to assist Harina with any questions.
Thank you. And then we have Jocelyn.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jocelyn Fritz, and I'm with the City of Irvine tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then finally, Stuart.
Hi, I'm Stuart Gilman. I'm a homeowner and participated in this program a couple of years ago and have been since doing a little bit of volunteer work with Oseco Solar as well.
Thank you so much, everyone. I definitely appreciate having you all here with us. So the goal of tonight is pretty simple. We want to help you understand your clean energy options, learn about incentives that are available, and connect you with trusted contractors in case you are interested in moving forward with going solar for your home. And so to get us started, we wanted to learn a little bit more about what brought you here tonight. So I'm going to be sharing a poll. So hopefully you should all be seeing a poll show up on your screen. We are wanting to see, what is your current interest and experience with solar and battery storage? Do you already have solar and you're looking to add batteries? Are you, new to all of this or you're just here to learn? So go ahead and answer the poll, and then we will move forward. And so I'm seeing a lot of folks are just here to learn, considering solar and batteries. Some folks considering just solar. All right, we'll give that just another few seconds. Okay. All right, so hopefully you should all be able to see the results. And so it looks like a lot of folks, about 60%, are just here to learn. And then we also have people who are considering both solar and battery storage. So next, I also wanted to cover a quick rundown of our housekeeping items. So during the presentations, we're going to ask that you stay on mute, but you are welcome to use the chat freely to ask any questions that you have. And our team is going to be in the chat throughout the presentation, answering any questions that you have along the way. We also are going to have a dedicated Q&A time at the end of our workshop tonight, where you will have the option to go off mute and chat directly with us with any questions you have, or you'll be able to share those in the chat as well. And then tomorrow morning, we are going to be emailing you the presentation slides as well as additional resources. And so there's no need to, take furious notes tonight. We are going to be sharing a lot of this information with you tomorrow. And we also are going to be recording the workshop and in the next couple of days, posting that on our YouTube channel on our website. And so because of that, if you feel comfortable, you can feel free to leave your camera on. Otherwise, feel free to keep it off, depending on what you're most comfortable with. And then at the end of the workshop, we would love to take a group screenshot photo. So at that point, you will also have the option to come off camera or not, depending on if you want to be in the photo. So let's go ahead and go over our agenda. Alexis, next slide, please. So here's a quick overview of what we're going to be covering tonight. So we are going to begin with remarks from Jocelyn Fritz, who's with the City of Irvine. And I am then going to be providing an overview of Oseco Solar and explaining how the Solarize Irvine program works, as well as highlighting current incentives and financing options. Next, we're going to be hearing from Stuart Gilman, who is a local resident that went solar through the program, and he is going to be sharing his experience with us. After that, ICAM Solar is going to be presenting to us about how solar energy systems work. And then Simply Solar is going to be discussing how battery storage works. And then both of these contractors are going to be sharing with us their offerings for the Solarize Irvine program for 2026. And then finally, we are going to open up the floor for question and answers, as I mentioned. And then we will be sharing next steps and how to stay connected. Next slide, please. So actually, sorry, can you go back to the previous slide, Alexis? So before we dive in, again, I want to welcome Jocelyn Fritz from the City of Irvine, who is their climate analyst, and she's going to be sharing a few words on behalf of the city. So take it away, Jocelyn.
Hi, everyone. Again, Elise, thank you so much for the introduction. I'm really happy to be here. And this is such a fun opportunity for me as a city employee to get to represent our team and the work that we do and the work that Oseco Solar does together and kind of bring it all home. So once more, thank you guys for having me here. As Elise mentioned, I'm a climate analyst. I work in our sustainability division, which is in our public works and sustainability department. So our team covers anything sustainability related. We've got some high-level focus subject areas like energy, solid waste, resiliency, climate policy, and more. But really anything that you can think of that is sustainability related, we touch. If we don't touch it, we have collaboration across the city with other divisions and departments that are doing that type of work. So we like to stay out in the community as much as possible and have our face and our gear everywhere. So you'll catch us at all of the big city events like Earth Day, Ciclo Irvine, and Global Village. And we have our booth at many other city events. So if you ever see us there, come stop by and talk to us. We love to engage about what we do. So before I really jump in about the partnership and how this came to be today, I just want to plug a couple of programs and projects that the city is working on right now. That could really benefit residents that we have here. So one of the first things, actually, this is a little more housekeeping on our end, but we did just have a new website overhaul. So if you have been on our city website before in the past, within the last month, I would say, month or two, we have a new website. So it might look a little different to you. If you're new to our website, then that's awesome. And I'm welcome to our website. But yeah, so it's a little kind of fun. Some things are in different places, but just wanted to give you that heads up that we are going through a transitional phase with our website currently. So things might not be where you had last seen them. But if you ever need anything, you can just shoot us an email and we'll help you find it. And then secondly, I really want to plug our One Irvine program, which is a neighborhood revitalization program that connects Irvine residents with community strengthening resources, which essentially puts money in the hands of the residents so then they can figure out what they want to do with that money in terms of home upgrades and renovations and things like that. So the three things that the One Irvine program has to offer is a green home grant, which is up to $1,500 for updates to your home or condo built before 1980. There's also a permit fee holiday, which waives certain building and planning permit fees that relate to sustainability enhancements. And the last really big ticket item here is a home improvement loan up to $25,000. So these loans are repaid upon sale or transfer of the property, and they need to be related to critical repairs or sustainability upgrades like solar panels, which makes this a really great fit for a plug during a presentation like this. So with all of these things that they offer, though, it's always funding's limited, and it's on a limited basis. So if this is something and you're an Irvine resident and homeowner, please check this out. After I finish my portion, I'll drop all of these links in the chat so you guys can peruse on your own later, and I can send them to Otsego Solar as well to send in their email tomorrow if that helps. So there's that. And then we also have a partnership with Zero Home, which is a web-based platform that helps people, homeowners, and utilities figure out what their modeling. They use modeling and data science to deliver customized home energy insights at scale. So it kind of gives you like a quick home energy audit type of vibe, which is awesome. So yeah, just a quick couple plugs there. And then let me just jump into why we're here today. So as a city, we really wanted to help our residents understand and streamline what solar is, right? Like we all know about solar, everybody at this point, knows about solar panels when you see it on a house. But what is that process, right? What does that mean for our residents? And what we've heard from a lot of our community is that it's a really complicated, complex process to jump into. And so we wanted to help streamline that and just see if we could simplify that path as much as possible. The second really big piece too for us is that as we were going through and creating a climate action and adaptation plan, what we found in our early days of figuring out the city's metrics, we found that the second largest emitter of greenhouse gas emissions are existing buildings. So that's like residential homes and city facilities and things like that. So the more we can help our residents get solar on their homes, it helps with the city's sustainability goals as well. And then we really want to continue to expand resiliency throughout the city as much as possible. So, and this is looking at city facilities and then also our resident homes. So as we dig into the battery section of this presentation, that'll tie in really nicely with explaining why batteries are useful and how they play into resiliency across the board. And then yeah, so how did we decide to partner with Otsego Solar, right? I'm such a huge fan, so I really love being a part of this presentation, but how did Otsego Solar and the city become Solarize Irvine? Great question. So first and foremost, what we really love about Otsego Solar is they are a grassroots Irvine-based organization. So they were founded right here in our own community. And I think that gives us a really proud piece of this puzzle here. So not only are they doing really great solar work, but it's also homegrown. And that's something that we just love to tout and can't get enough of that. So that also, I think, ignites a lot of excitement with residents when they hear about the different stories and residential testimonials and things like that. So we really love that. And then we really also love the effort that Otsego Solar puts into their processes. So the one big one that stands out to us is the community evaluation panel, which I'm sure they will touch on more in this presentation. But essentially, they pull the subject matter experts and they do the hard work and the heavy lifting so that the residents, you guys, can just show up and easier, find contractors and things like that. They do the smoothing for you. And I think that's just really awesome. So yes. Another thing is too, whenever our residents get involved with this process, we hear so many emails and phone calls of satisfaction. And then we get high interest calls and emails as well. So, or high volume interest calls and emails. So from what it seems like from the community, there's very high levels of satisfaction. And that makes us really happy to continue a partnership of something that just continues to grow and flourish. So yeah. All right, you guys, my name is Jocelyn Fritz. So thank you again. I'll drop all of these links in the chat. But I'll be on this call the whole time, so if you guys have any questions for me, please just raise your hand or drop a question in the chat. But yeah, that's all for me. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn. We really appreciate our partnership with the city and the incredible work that the city is doing to advance sustainability in our community. So, Alexis, can you go to the next slide, please? So, as Jocelyn mentioned, Osico Solar was founded in 2017 as a grassroots community group here in Irvine in the UC Irvine community. And it started essentially as a group of, excuse me, as a group of neighbors who really wanted to go solar and adopt clean energy in their homes and found the process to be confusing, expensive, opaque, and they wanted to simplify it for themselves and for everyone else in their community. So what started as this, very simple neighborhood idea eventually grew into a formalized 501c3 nonprofit organization in 2019. And then since 2022, we have been officially partnering with the City of Irvine for the Solarize Irvine program. Our mission is simple. It's to make clean energy accessible and affordable for everybody. And we do these through our three main programs, first of which is our Solarize and I'll share a little bit more about our new Electrify Irvine program. And these are our flagship programs of spreading clean energy adoption in the city of Irvine. And additionally, we have programs targeted towards lower income communities and communities that have been historically excluded from solar and other clean energy adoption, including SOMA, the Solar on Multifamily Affordable Housing Program, which I will touch briefly on a little bit later in the workshop today. And then finally, we have our Clean Energy Ambassador Program, which is a volunteer opportunity for local residents. And again, I'm going to share a little bit more about those later on. Next slide, please. So what are Solarize and Electrify Irvine? So these are both community group purchasing programs led by us, Osico Solar, in partnership with the City of Irvine. So what exactly does that mean? Well, with the Solarize Irvine program, this is our flagship initiative that has been in existence since 2017, since our founding. And this is a program where we're trying to help local residents adopt solar batteries as well as EV charging for their homes. And we do this by getting lots of neighbors together to go solar all at once. And we do a vetting process for local solar contractors and negotiate group discounts with them. Which again, I'm going to share a little bit more in detail in just a moment about how exactly that process works. And this year in 2016, we're also excited to have launched our Electrify Irvine program, which is modeled off of the Solarize initiative. And this is a program that helps to spread energy efficient appliances in Irvine, including heat pumps, which are a more energy efficient version of heating, air conditioning, as well as water heating for the home. And so far, we're very proud to share that over 900 homeowners have gone solar through our initiatives. Next slide, please. So the program goals are quite simple. First, we want to lower the cost of clean energy. Next, we want to simplify the selection of contractors and equipment, which, as Jocelyn was explaining earlier, going solar can be really expensive as well as very confusing, and we want to make this process more affordable and easier for everyone. Our third goal is that we want to ensure quality, transparency, and consumer confidence, because again, the process of adopting solar can be so opaque, and we want to just make everything transparent and clear and easy for consumers. Finally, number 4, we want to reduce carbon emissions in our region, which is directly in line with the City of Irvine's sustainability goals. And then finally, we want to support local businesses and the green economy, which we prioritize local solar contractors in our selection process, which I'm going to share a little bit more about next. So next slide, please. So the way that this program works, what is this group discount purchasing model? So step one is that at the beginning of every year, Oseco Solar prepares and distributes a request for proposals, or an RFP. And we shared this with local solar installers, and now with our Electrify Irvine program with local heat pump installers as well, who might be interested in participating in the program. Meanwhile, we convene, as Jocelyn was explaining, a community evaluation panel. And so this is a group of local volunteers with a variety of backgrounds, ranging from, expertise in finance or clean energy, or just simply people who are passionate about sustainability and want to make a difference in the neighborhood. So it's open to everybody in Irvine. And it's actually this community evaluation panel who reviews the proposals and ultimately decides which installers get chosen in the program. And so step three, once the panel chooses the installers, then Oseco Solar negotiates the pricing. And so that's where we get that group discount model, because we're able to, bring lots of neighbors together to go solar at once. We're able to help the solar companies reduce their costs for sales and marketing and customer acquisition, and then they pass those savings on to you through group discounts. Finally, step four is that Oseco Solar hosts public workshops in partnership with the City of Irvine, such as the one that we're all currently at right now. And then after the workshop, if attendees are interested in moving forward with getting a quote, the installers provide free personalized quotes for everyone. And if you decide to take the next step with your installation, then Oseco Solar is here to support you for the following year and, track your project and answer any questions that you have along the way. So for 2026, we have two solar contractors, Simply Solar and iCam Solar. And then separately for our Electrify Irvine program, three heat pump contractors have been selected. Next slide, please. So here's just some photos of our lovely volunteers for our community evaluation panels. So on the left is from last year, and then on the right is our panel from this year, which also includes Stuart, who's going to be sharing his experience with us going solar a little bit later. Next slide, please. So I wanted to briefly touch on what criteria we look for in the contractors. So number one is financial stability. We do actually a pretty thorough look through financial documents to make sure that the companies are in good financial standing. And we want to make sure that, we're choosing more stable companies that are going to be part of the program. Number two, locally based in the Orange County and Greater Southern California region. So again, we want to support our local green economy by prioritizing locally based companies. Three, very important, we prioritize companies that use in-house installation versus subcontractors, so that everything is done in-house and a bit easier for everyone to track. Number four, we look for how many years in business. So we prefer to be with companies who have been around for a long time, who are more established, and therefore are just generally more stable. Five, we look at customer reviews from multiple sources. And then six, labor practices. We want to look at companies that have good benefits, that prioritize the well-being of their employees. Next slide, please. So we do want to share an important disclaimer with everyone. And so while the program contractors are recommended to everyone to help simplify the process, we do actually encourage folks to get additional quotes from other installers who are not necessarily in the program. And Oseco Solar is always available to help local residents review quotes. So if you have a quote from Oseco Solar contractor as well as another installer from outside of the program, we're more than happy to help look through those and answer any questions that you have. And we do want to reiterate that all of the contracts are strictly between the homeowner and the contractor, and that neither Osico Solar nor the City of Irvine is party to any agreement or dispute. Next slide, please. So I mentioned earlier that we also have a couple of programs that are focused on low income and disadvantaged communities. And so I just wanted to briefly mention those here. So at the top, we have the Solar on Multifamily Affordable Housing Program, which is through the state of California. And this allows renters who are living in low income multifamily housing to access solar. And it's one of the largest programs of its kind. That is $1 billion over 10 years. And we are proud to be the Orange County partner for this initiative. And then at the bottom, we have a really cool project that we've been involved in recently. There's an urban farm called Crece in Orange, and they are aimed at solving food deserts and allowing access to nutritional food in communities that don't have access to it. And so we have supported them with a fundraising effort to install solar panels on their farm. And we are just really excited to be involved in more projects such as that. Next slide, please. And then finally, our Clean Energy Ambassador Program. We're really excited to be expanding this program this year. And we have two different tracks for anyone who might be interested. So if you are a student, whether that be a university student, or if you have any high school students at home, or if you're just a local community member who is excited to, get the word out about clean energy, we'd love to have you on board. So for students, we have internship programs such as our intern Zoe, who is a student at UC Irvine. And we also partner with sustainability clubs at different schools so that we can get our young folks involved in the clean energy movement. And then for other community members, we would love to get your support in reaching out to your HOA so that we can bring clean energy to your HOA community, as well as if you've gone solar or if you've adopted, clean electric appliances in your home and you want to maybe give a clean energy tour to a small group of people, we would love to support with that as well. So if you're interested in any of these volunteer opportunities, we're going to be sharing our email at the end of the workshop, and so feel free to reach out. Next slide, please. So I also wanted to go over some incentives that are currently out there for solar and other clean energy adoption. So at the top, we have our One Irvine program that Jocelyn explained very in detail, and that was so helpful. So again, this is for homes that were built in Irvine on or before 1980. And we're going to be sharing more resources at the end of the workshop if you would be interested in applying to that program. Additionally, at the state level, there is a Go Green financing loan where you can access loans of up to $50,000 to $75,000, which include solar, battery, heat pumps, and EV charging. And then finally, there is a rebate for heat pumps specifically. So this is through South Coast Air Quality Management District. It's their Go Zero program. And it is $1,000 to $3,000 rebate for heat pump heating and air conditioning, as well as heat pump water heaters. At the moment, this program unfortunately is on pause, but we do encourage you to stay posted not only to our newsletter, where we're going to be sharing any updates with you, but also to the South Coast AQMD website. And also make sure to stay in touch with your contractors about that, because this program will hopefully be opening up very soon. And it would be a great opportunity to get a rebate for heat pumps. Next slide, please. All right, so I now want to go ahead and bring on Stuart, who was not only a member of our community evaluation panel, but also went solar through our program. And he's just going to briefly share a bit about his experience. So take it away, Stuart.
Thanks so much, Elise. Hi, everybody. So my home is in College Park, which is a neighborhood developed in 1973, I think 1972 to 1974. We're around Culver and Walnut, across from where Trader Joe's is. on one end and from the Harvard Athletic Park on the other side of the tract. I was interested in going green kind of philosophically, but I wanted to save some money, and then became aware of the One Irvine program, which also connected me to the OCEGO Solar resources. And we were fortunate to be accepted to the One Irvine program, and then followed through with the OCEGO Solar process to meet the contractors and review proposals from the, at that time, 3 contractors that participated. We ended up, one of my goals was mainly to save money, partly also to just have a little bit of energy security when we have occasional blackouts. We don't get a lot of power outages in our neighborhood, but we get some. I was not trying to protect from, to be able to go off the grid in case of some major cataclysm. And so what I had wanted was solar panels and one Powerwall battery. And I also wanted to upgrade the main service panel because that I thought it was getting too old and probably too small for our future needs. And so what you can see in the photo on the right side of the screen is some of the hardware that was installed. I can't name everything for you that's there. Chris Walker from Apium could, because he installed most all of it. But the installation ended up being very easy for me. It just took a few days. The amazing thing to me about how the system works is that even though it's very complicated electrical engineering, it is completely hands-off. I don't have to do anything at any time to operate the system or take advantage of it. It just works silently. I've never had to turn it off and turn it back on again, or the things that often happen with electrical equipment these days. I have a mixed installation where some of the equipment comes from Enphase, others of the equipment comes from Tesla. That's no problem at all for how this thing works. They interoperate seamlessly. My average electric bills before I started this in 2024 were like $167 going across the year on average. My average bill since then has been $55, but I've also obtained an electric vehicle and a heat pump electric dryer. On months that I'm not charging my EV much, for instance, my bill that's due next, like on July 28th or whenever my next bill is $16. So I'm definitely seeing the benefits of the solar installation. I will mention, I was able to glance at a question that went in the chat. I had gone ahead and replaced my roof before I went with the solar because I had an original roof built in 1974. I was doing the project in 2024. So I had a new roof in place, and there have been no problems whatsoever with any of the roof penetrations or any issues with that. So I had a great experience going through the process with kind of every step. The resources OCEGO Solar provided were incredibly reassuring and helpful. So I didn't have to try to figure out as much who were legitimate, reliable contractors. The One Irvine program provided obviously financial resources that were appreciated and helpful, but they also provided a lot of technical support. The part of what the city is doing to make sure they're being fiscally responsible is they're they review the contracts, they review the work done, they're reviewing, tracking when the permits get signed off, and then anyway, they were very, very helpful, and mostly just providing me reassurance because, in fact, the contract was very straightforward. The installation and contract deliverables were very straightforward. There was no hitches at any point in the process for me. So I've been nothing but delighted with this since we did it, and happy to answer any questions I can when the time is right for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stuart. We really appreciate hearing your perspective. So now we are going to, can we go to the next slide, please? So we are going to be hearing from our first installer, Harina Kapoor of IKM Solar, and she is going to be walking us through how solar energy works and share the details of their Solarize Irvine offer. So Harina Kapoor is a serial entrepreneur and the founder and CEO of IKM Solar. Founded in 2010, IKM specializes in residential and commercial solar energy solutions. Harina holds a computer engineering degree from the University of Bombay, a master's in computer science from Boston University, as well as a master's in physics from UC Irvine. She worked as a software engineer and a project manager for several companies, including Motorola and SPSS. So take it away, Harina.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank you for attending the workshop this evening. Also, I would like to thank the Solarize Irvine and OCGO's Solar Committee for the opportunity to work with them for over 8 years. Through this program, we have installed solar for about 650 homes in Irvine. We also actively work with the One Irvine Loan Solar Program and have installed solar for homeowners that received the interest-free $25,000 solar loan. Tonight, I shall cover 3 important topics. First, how solar systems work. Then, how we design the right system for every homeowner. And finally, I will introduce a new financing option we have created that helps homeowners receive a 30% upfront discount. So let's start with the basics. Next slide, please. Solar panels are mounted to the roof using engineered racking that is securely fastened to the roof structure. Every roof penetration is properly, can you hear me? Oh, somebody needs to mute, yeah. Okay, sorry. Every roof penetration is properly sealed to prevent water leaks. The solar panels, they generate DC electricity, but your home and the utility grid uses AC electricity. That's why an inverter is needed to convert the DC power to usable AC power. There are 2 main types of inverters, the string inverters and the micro inverters. The string inverters we use are the Tesla string inverters, whereas the micro inverters are the Enphase micro inverters. Now, string inverters use one central inverter for multiple panels, so shading or an inverter failure can reduce the output of an entire group of panels. With Enphase microinverters, each panel has its own individual inverter, allowing panel level monitoring and ensuring that if there's any shading or a panel fails, the rest of the system continues to produce normally. Now, very important, this electricity your solar system generates first powers the house. Any excess energy can be used to, it can be sent to the utility grid, or it can be used to charge a battery. Now, the utility export rates are very low under the new billing plan. So it is important to charge the batteries with the excess energy and use the batteries to power your home from sundown to sunrise. The batteries will also provide you backup power in case of a power outage. If you're signed up with the OCPA, Orange County Power Authority, then you will receive higher credits for the solar overproduction because they are still with the old billing plan, but we don't know for how long. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So this diagram shows exactly what happens. During the day, your solar panels power your home and charge the battery. The grid is idle. At night, instead of buying electricity from the utility, your home runs from the battery. Now, if there are sufficient amount of batteries, then you're mostly grid independent. On cloudy days when solar production is low, or if your batteries are depleted, then there is nothing to worry about because your home will automatically receive power from the utility grid. Since your system is a grid-tied system, you will continue to have electricity without any interruptions. Next slide, please. So now that we understand how energy flows from the home, the next question is which equipment you should use. IKM Solar installs both Enphase and Tesla battery systems. So just assume you have your solar panels, then you have your Enphase microinverters, and you have your Enphase batteries. So that's the Enphase ecosystem. Another option would be the Tesla string inverter with the Tesla battery with your Tesla ecosystem. Now, there is a third hybrid system, which is Enphase microinverters with the Tesla batteries, which in our opinion is the best of both worlds. And it's our most popular solution. The Tesla Powerwall batteries are compact and provide excellent full home backup. Enphase offers a longer term battery warranty of 15 years, whereas Tesla Powerwall is 10 years. So we will recommend the one that best fits your home's needs and also the backup needs that your home needs. Okay, next slide, please. So sometimes homeowners ask us, what if one battery isn't enough? So the Tesla Powerwall battery, the capacity is 13.5 kilowatt hours, and the main Powerwall battery has the inverter built in. Okay, but if one battery is not enough, Tesla has these expansion batteries that you can add easily. So in this diagram, it shows one proper one proper Tesla Powerwall battery and two expansion batteries, which don't have the inverters built in. But the capacity is 13.5 times 3, which is 40.5 kilowatt hours to power your house from sundown to sunrise. With Enphase, it comes in increments of 10 kilowatt hour batteries, and you can have 3, 4, or whatever, as many batteries as you want. Next slide, please. So now that we've talked about the technology, I would like to talk about our company, IKM Solar. We've been installing solar for over 16 years. We were founded in 2010. Unlike many companies, we don't use subcontractors. Our installers, electricians, and roofer are all on our payroll. We offer great employee benefits, and I personally share 12% of the company's net profits with our team. And because of that, many of our employees have been with us for several years. They work well together. They take pride in their work. We deliver excellent workmanship and great customer service. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the reasons why we have been successful for the past 16 years is because we don't believe every home should receive the same system. Every home is different. Before we design a system, we look at your roof, your electric bill, your future plans of like buying an EV, electric vehicle, and your hourly energy usage. The goal isn't simply to install solar, it's to design the right system for your home. Next slide, please. So, this one, sorry. So one thing we collect from you is the green button data. How do you download it? You go to your sc.com account, you enter, give us 1 year of data, and download the data in a .csv file format, and then email us the file. Next slide, please. So another question we always ask the homeowners is whether you're planning to purchase an electric vehicle. If you are planning to purchase an electric vehicle, then for every 10,000 miles, you need about 3,000 kilowatt hours to charge it. And so that's what we add to your energy usage, and which 3,000 kilowatt hours typically amounts to about 5 more solar panels. So although your electricity usage increases, you will typically save more on fuel costs by switching from gasoline to electricity. Next slide, please. So this slide shows an example. Assuming your energy usage for 12 months is 5,000 kilowatt hours, you're going to buy an electric vehicle, drive it 10,000 miles. We add 3,000 kilowatt hours. The total is 8,000 kilowatt hours. We typically recommend a system that generates 120% of current energy usage so you can run your air conditioner and appliances more freely. Next slide, please. So, of course, solar installation is only part of the project. Many homeowners also need electrical panel upgrades, roofing work. So we can do main service panel upgrades, roof repairs, and we can also install EV chargers. We normally recommend the homeowners purchase EV chargers, and we actually recommend the Tesla Universal EV wall connector or the Enphase EV chargers. So by providing all these extra services, the homeowners can work with one contractor from start to finish. Next slide, please. So we also verify the condition of the roof before installing. As you can see in that picture, the roof paper on the right side is like really dirty and it's old. So in this case, we replace the roof paper underneath the solar panel array. Also, if your roof tiles are fragile, we recommend installing composite shingle roofing underneath the solar panel arrays. Now, unfortunately, it means that you are going to have roof work costs. We have a roofer on our team, but if you wish, you can hire your own roofer also. Next slide, please. So next step is to select the right solar panels. We primarily recommend REC panels because they are among the most efficient panels and have excellent long-term performance. Even after 25 years, they're expected to produce about 92% of their original output. We also offer Hyundai panels, which are priced slightly lower. Next slide, please. So many homeowners ask us why our pricing through Solarize Irvine is so competitive. The Solarize Irvine program handles the marketing and homeowner outreach, which allows us to pass on the sales and marketing savings that we get to the participants in form of group discount pricing. Next slide, please. So these are our next two slides. You can pass on, Alexis, are our pricing. And these slides, you will get the whole deck because after the workshop, they'll email it to you so you can look at the pricing in detail. Now, I would like to introduce something that is unique to IKM Solar. The 5-year prepaid lease is the newest program we have introduced. As most of you know, the residential tax credit ended in 2025. Businesses, however, can still claim the tax credit. So our solution is simple. IKM owns a system for 5 years, claims the business tax credit, and passes those savings to you as an upfront 30% discount. Example, if your system costs $10,000, you pay $7,000 only, and we will collect over the period of 5 years the 30% from the government. Now, remember, something to remember is this is not a third-party lease. It's our own in-house program. Many homeowners, they assume that all leases are the same. They're not. There are no monthly payments in this, in our prepaid lease program, and the end of lease term is extremely simple. The homeowner, the ownership of the system is transferred to you after 5 years for a one-time $250 administrative fee. That's it. During the 5 years, the wonderful thing is that we will monitor your system at no additional cost. Once ownership transfers to you, all manufacturer and workmanship warranties will continue as normal. The only difference is that you will have to monitor the system and let us know if you experience any issues. Oh, and one more thing. If you wish to sell the home, the lease will transfer to the new homeowner along with the warranties. Now, one can think, if you want to think of it simply, just think of it as deferred ownership. Yeah. Also, it is important to note that unlike other third-party leasing companies, there is no equipment restrictions. So we recommend the best equipment for your home. There's no equipment is being selected by a finance company. We decide what's best. We also allow the homeowners to add solar panels or batteries to their existing system. So as an example, if you already have solar panels, you can add a backup battery and you'll get 30% discount on that also, and full ownership after 5 years. And during the 5 years, we monitor the battery performance for you. Next slide, please. So how does our program compare to just simply paying cash? With a cash purchase, you own the system immediately, but you pay the full price. With our 5-year prepaid lease, you receive a 30% upfront discount. There are no monthly lease payments, and you become the owner of the system after 5 years. The biggest advantage is that the 30% upfront discount significantly reduces your initial investment, and therefore you get much faster system paybacks. Next slide, please. So here's an actual example. With this homeowner is getting 14 REC 460-watt panels with a Tesla string inverter and 1 Tesla Powerwall battery. He's paying $27,000 because he's purchasing it cash, and his payback is 9 years. Next slide, please. So here, I think something's chopped off from the top. The monthly payment, monthly bill was actually $250. No, backtrack. Monthly bill was $250, and after solar, it's $25. Now, he decides to do the 5-year prepaid lease, so he's saving $8,000, and his net cost is only about $19,000. His payback reduces to about 6 years from the original 9 years. Next slide, please. So once a homeowner decides to move forward, here's what the process looks like. Basically, it takes 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the permitting, utility approvals, inspections, and weather. And we keep the homeowners informed throughout. Warranty, next slide, please. Your system is a long-term investment, so warranty coverage is equally important. Panels carry 25 years, performance and labor. Enphase microinverters have 25 years. Batteries are covered by the manufacturer's warranty, and IKEM provides a 10-year workmanship and roof penetration warranty. Next slide, please. So we are fully licensed, bonded, insured, and carry workers' compensation insurance for all our employees. Next slide, please. I hope tonight's presentation has, the one before, sorry. I hope tonight's presentation has helped make solar a little easier to understand. Whether you're considering installing solar today or simply gathering information, our goal is to help you make an informed decision that's right for your home. Thank you for spending the time this evening. I'd be happy to answer your questions via chat or after the entire presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harina. We really appreciate hearing from you. And so now we're going to be hearing from William Barrow of Simply Solar, who is going to be covering battery storage as well as the details of their Solarize Irvine offering. So William Barrow has 15 years of experience in the solar industry, including 11 consecutive years with Simply Solar. He has helped over 1,000 homeowners adopt solar and battery backup, and he has supported dozens of commercial installations as well. As a homeowner with a solar system on his own residence, William brings both professional expertise and firsthand experience to the discussion. So take it away, William.
All right. Thank you very much for that introduction. Good evening, everybody. As she said, my name is William, and the purpose of my presentation here is to provide some more information, some more context on batteries, more context on the time of use billing structure that's most pervasive out there, and just spend a brief introduction of who Simply Solar is. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to give you more context, but I'm sure what everybody's interested in is the meat and potatoes, an actual quotation with real figures showing real components. And then we'll talk in a little bit more about the mechanics of the subsidies once we dive into the numbers. So with that being said, let's jump into the batteries. Next slide, please. So really, let's start with the use case of the batteries. I think the most predominant use case of a battery is to save money, aka reduce your electric bill. It wasn't always the case. Batteries were kind of a luxury to protect the home, but now in 2026, it no longer makes financial sense to go with a solar panel only system. Solar with a battery is the most efficient way to reduce your electric bill, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide with time of use. But of course, the other options are protecting your home against power outages. Unfortunately, we all know about grid failures. We all know about the unfortunate fires, and it seems that blackouts are here to stay and may be more relevant in the future. So there are two ways to back up your home. We'll go over that: partial backup, and then we'll talk about whole home backup, which is becoming the most popular option with the introduction of what's called the meter collar. Next slide, please. All right, so this is a very boring, very confusing time of use rate structure with Southern California Edison. You see there's summer rates, winter rates, holidays, weekends, but really what I want to bring your attention to is look between the hours of 4 and 9. You'll see something very consistent, which is the most expensive rate. And if you look during the summer months, 4 to 9 is literally more than double the cost. So what am I showing here is Southern California Edison's rate structure. I do understand that a lot of people are getting their energy from OC. However, everybody is using Southern California's rails, or rather their distribution channel. So we're all subject to Southern California in one way or another, and this is their billing structure. Again, rather than going over the granular details, what I want to bring to everybody's attention is the hours of 4 and 9 are significantly more expensive. And when your home probably gets hot and we're running the air conditioning during the summer, it's probably between 4 and 9 when the price for electricity is more than double. Now, if I can draw your attention to the bottom left-hand side in the red screen, here's are the exports. This is what Southern California Edison will credit your account. So why would your solar system export? Well, during the day, when the sun is getting direct sunlight to your solar panels, you'll actually generate more electricity than your home can use. During the day, the solar system produces so much electricity, it's able to easily power your home and generate more electricity than you're able to use in that instance. So if you don't have batteries, the surplus goes back to Southern California Edison. And to take a look at that export credits, I usually call it a nickel comparison to 59 cents. So what we want to do with the battery is make sure that you have the proper size battery. Because if your battery is undersized, that solar system generates more electricity than the home uses. It could fill up your battery too quickly, and then we're in the same boat. We're still exporting credits to the utility. So that is really how a battery saves money, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in the next slide. But 59 cents to a nickel. Next slide, please. All right, so if we take a look at this graph, it can be a little confusing, but we see the solar energy graph. You see its peak production in the high noon, and it's pretty narrow. And behind that, we see kind of a roller coaster. That's your home's typical usage. So in the morning, we wake up, we start to energize our home, we get ready, and then we leave. There's typically, not for all homes, but there's an afternoon lull. And then when we get off work, we re-energize, have dinner, run the air conditioning, and we have another demand peak. Well, see, if you take a look at these demand peaks, they don't unfortunately coincide with sun exposure to your roof, aka solar production. So the reason behind the battery and how a battery saves you money, it's 2 points on the left. Number one, we want to limit solar export. We want to eliminate it if possible. And number two, we want to save all that electricity to discharge between 4 and 9, so we're not subject purchasing electricity at more than double the cost. This is the metrics behind saving money and how a battery makes sense, because without a battery, again, we're exporting to the grid and not getting fair compensation for it. Also, if we don't go solar, if we're just here just learning, we have no intentions of going solar, one way to reduce your electric bill is just shift some of your consumption. If there's like a pool pump or a spa, if you can have things that are programmed to run outside of the hours of 4 and 9, that's the way to reduce your electric bill without solar. And let's go to the next slide. Cool. So this is a home backup, and there's a couple ways to protect your home. One of my clients said it was like building the moat around his castle to protect his family. And so this is what battery backup does. There are two ways to protect your home. The most common way now is whole home backup. So what that does is that puts a device on your main electrical panel called a meter collar. And that meter collar severs connection from the grid in the event of a blackout, so we don't accidentally energize the lines. And the cool thing about this is it sends electricity to your entire home. So if there's a blackout at night, you don't have to worry about this section of your home being dark or walking in the dark. It provides electricity to every corner of your home. And whole home backup also gives you the ability, with the proper battery size, to run HVAC equipment, larger components. There's, of course, pros and cons to everything. And the next thing we have is partial home. And so partial home, what we do is we install a new electrical panel. It's not your main electrical panel, so it's called a sub panel. It's actually called a loads backup sub electrical panel. And what we'll do is we'll identify the critical items in your home. We can help you with that, or you can tell us what you want. Typically, it's kitchen, garage door, hallway lights, where your Wi-Fi is located. We'll put those into the sub panel. And if there's a blackout, those critical items will be energized. So it doesn't power your entire home, but what it does, it preserves your battery to only be powered the most critical items. And typically, this allows you to extend your battery capacity for the sunlight. So these are the two most common ways. And again, whole home backup with the meter collar is kind of the most, it's picking up steam with how we do it. But sometimes the infrastructure of your home kind of dictates which way you go. And we determine that with a site audit and, of course, with a one-on-one consultation. So next page here. Next slide, please. Thank you. So in wrapping up the battery, we believe our clients can make informed decisions by themselves, but we want to give them the tools to make the best decision. So here's a couple 3 questions that you can ask and help determine which battery is right for your home. Number 1, what is the length of the battery? Some batteries literally have 50% longer warranties. Then if protecting your home from power outages is important, this next question you will like. Will the battery be able to restart if that battery gets fully depleted in an off-grid scenario? Some battery manufacturers can do that. Some battery manufacturers cannot do that. If they're fully depleted during an off-grid scenario, and this is relevant if the power outage is maybe a 1 or 2 days longer, not 1 or 2 hours, but 1 or 2 days, if that battery's fully depleted, can it restart? And some of the manufacturers that cannot restart, they go into hibernation mode. And so they'll have a little bit of capacity, but they'll act like they don't have, that's called hibernation mode. So kind of a parallel question is, what is the usable capacity of the battery, not just the battery name size, the usable capacity? And then some batteries, for actually, let's just call the Tesla battery, actually has an integrated in solar inverter. It's really cool. So like the last slide that we got a quotation on, it was a string inverter. And that string inverter actually lies in the battery. Unfortunately, that does create a single point of failure. So one good question to ask is, if the battery inverter fails, can the solar system continue to produce electricity? And that would be if you go with a string inverter inside the battery, that's when you would have that single point of failure. So this wraps up kind of the battery agenda. I hope that's useful to you guys. And if we can go to the next slide, please. All right, so who is Simply Solar? I won't spend too much time here. We were founded in 2013. We're very proud to say we've been operating over a decade. And our kind of North Star, our founding principle is integrity over anything, over everything, excuse me. That may sound a little cheesy, may sound a little cliche, but literally that's our guiding principle. That comes down to even just materials that we choose. We ask, hey, would we be comfortable putting that material on our home for the long term? If the answer is no, we don't utilize it. Integrity over everything is the foundational principle in how we operate our business, and we really believe that principle is what allows us to stay in business and thrive in business. Another thing that our clients like is all in-house operations. No subcontractors, no third parties, but that's why OC chose both contractors, because we keep everything in-house. And a fun statistic is, on average, our customers save approximately $70,000 over the lifetime of their warranties. That's why warranties are important, your solar warranty, your battery warranty. But upon reviewing that, I don't know if that's a kind of an accolade for us or if that's an indication of how expensive the price for electricity has gotten over time. So that's a little bit about Simply Solar. And I have a couple slides of some work that we've done. Next slide, please. So this is a really beautiful home, not just because it's on the ocean in Malibu, but I'd like to draw your attention to the roof. That is a metal roof that is curved. So this solar system had a lot of engineering challenges here. We had to put a flat, square solar panel on a curved roof. We're very proud of this job. It was all engineered, designed, and installed in-house, and we like the aesthetics. It's a 22 kilowatt solar system, so there's more panels there, and it's paired with a 30 kilowatt hour battery. In this particular case, because the home was very large, they did partial home to make sure that that battery capacity only goes to their critical items. Next slide, please. Cool. So this is a picture of our American-made all-black solar panels in the sun-soaked town of Temecula. And this is a 12 kilowatt solar system, all engineered, all installed by Simply Solar, of course, no subcontractors, paired with a 20 kilowatt battery. And this battery, they opted for the entire home. And next slide, please. Cool. In-house commercial. So all these photos are an actual installation by Simply Solar. We're proud of the portfolio that we've built over the last decade of both residential and commercial. That's a little bit about Simply Solar. And if you'd like to learn more, of course, we're here to support the entire community. Next slide, please. Cool. So this is probably what everyone's going to be excited about. These are actual numbers. So this is a quotation that you can actually expect. Like if you got this solar system, it would be the same price. But rather than going to the price, I think when we look at solar systems, whether it's 12,000, 50,000, 70,000, it needs some context. I think Stuart did a great job of saying how much his electric bill was before. So this particular bill that pairs with the solar system, their average electric bill was $360 per month. Hey, so if your bill's lower, you can expect a lower system this. But it was a $360 average electric bill, meaning it just goes higher during the summer, lower every month else. But they were paying about $4,300 a year to the utility. And unfortunately, they were on a collision course to give the utility $51,800. That does factor in a small 4% utility increase. So this particular home, they worked from home, and we paired that with 16 solar panels, 16 N-phase inverters. Those N-phase inverters do have a 25-year warranty, and we like to make sure that the system is cohesive. We paired that with the N-phase batteries. Definitely N-phase and Tesla can work one another, but 15 years in the experience, I've seen when manufacturers, if there's an issue, they say, I don't think it's our fault. Please talk to the other manufacturer, the other equipment. Maybe it's a signal error with them, and there can be finger pointing. When we say with the same architecture, with the same system, we have one accountable party and the industry leading warranty. So that's the solar system. It is also battery backup, which is a little bit more expensive. Let's take a look at the cost. It's just under $36,000. Now, comparing that to over 50,000, it looks good, but we also have the ability to leverage the 30% tax credit. And if you do the arithmetic, it's a little bit more than 30% because we're using domestically manufactured components. That means we are able to pass on a larger subsidy. So the net investment for this project ended up being 22,225. That's a lot of twos. And you compare that with the over 50,000, and you can start to see the return on investment and how long it would take to pay for itself. One caveat, of course, solar does not completely eliminate your electric bill. Even if you get 100% of your electricity from solar, you are completely grid independent. Your battery size is oversized and everything's in home. You are still subject to pay, approximately $20, $25 with the utilities minimum delivery fees. So this is an actual quotation with actual components, utilizing all components that have the longest warranty with all the bells and whistles, online monitoring for each panel, battery backup, and we see it's 22 versus the over 50,000 and giving you the kind of the ROI. So that is the proposal. The next slide, please, talks about how in the world are we talking about a commercial tax credit and you're on a residential home? How do we utilize that? Well, it is designed as a prepaid lease. So that last slide, $22,000, excuse me, it covers the entire prepaid lease. This lease is a direct pathway to ownership as the lease is only 5 years. On the 5th year, ownership automatically transfers over to you, and all the warranties that we discussed transfer over to you. So because it's structured, the commercial entity is able to absorb the tax credit. And the cool thing about this, it's an instant discount. So you don't have to worry about rebates. Did your paperwork go through? Is it correct? You don't have to worry about trying to claw it back when you file your taxes for a refund. This is a instant $13,000, at least in this example. Again, it's over 30% because we are using domestic content and leveraging some other subsidies to provide you a direct pathway to own. And although you will automatically own the system on year 5, on day 1, you are utilizing the benefits of the solar system. It's offsetting your electric bill and reducing it day 1. You're protecting your home with battery backup day 1. It's just nuance that ownership transfers over to you so you can get over 30, roughly 35, 36, 34, it depends on the project, about 35% off. Now, what if you don't want to spend $22,000 all at once? there's a loan option. So the loan is designed to pay off that lease. It pays for the total $22,000. There's no money down. There's no prepayment penalty. And there's very flexible repayment. You can pay it off as pretty much as easy as you want. What if you want to pay cash? Well, we have the loan fund so you can capitalize on the 30% tax credit. And as little as 2 weeks after the solar system is installed, you can pay it off, write a check, or you can carry it over the long term over the 25 years. There is interest on this loan, but if you carry it over the 25 years or any length of time, the payment is substantially less than your electric bill. So with literally no money down to own a solar system with the commercial tax credit, it's substantially less than your electric bill. And kind of the cool thing, as the price of inflation impacts everything and your electric bill or your neighbor's electric bill continues to go up, if you're making the payment on the solar system, it's a fixed payment that will never go off. You're paying off a principal. So that's the mechanics behind how we leverage a approximate 35% tax credit with this commercial pass-through and using domestic context. I hope it makes sense. It is a relatively new concept. Last year it was just, hey, you have to fight with the IRS to get it back. This year it's the leveraging of that. So Simply Solar is here to provide you some more context. And the last and final slide. Next slide, please. Cool. I just want to thank everybody. It's late, it's 8 o'clock, so thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your attention. I went over a bunch of things today, but I want to let you know that Simply Solar, we're here to provide a consultation approach. We're here to meet with you, just like we're doing right now over video meeting, to provide you education, provide you all the tools you need to make an independent decision. Even if that decision's, no, I don't think solar is right for me. And during that time, we can provide you a custom quotation. The quotation I shared you was an actual quotation, but you may need more panels, less panels, more batteries, etc. So again, thank you everybody for your time. Thank you OC for having Simply Solar, and Above Business, we're wishing everybody the best.
All right, thank you so much, William. Alexis, can you go 2 slides forward, actually? So I know we're coming up on our time. We went a little bit over today, but thank you all so much for being here. And I wanted to share very briefly next steps, and then we will have some time for Q&A at the end. And if you're willing to stay on a bit longer, we're more than happy to stay on to help answer any questions that you have. So the next steps are that if you're interested in getting a free quote, you can either write that in the chat or send us an email at info@osecosolar.org. Additionally, tomorrow morning, as I mentioned, we're going to be sending you an email with lots of helpful resources. And then also make sure to follow us on our social media at OsecoSolar, and feel free to reach out anytime that you have any questions, info@osecosolar.org. So Alexis, can you go back to the previous slide now? And before I open it up to audience Q&A, I want to launch a final very short poll. So we just want to see how you found the workshop today. Was it helpful? How was the information? So there's just 2 quick questions for you to answer, and then we'll get going on our Q&A. And then finally, I did also want to take a quick group photo. So Alexis, if you could maybe stop sharing the screen for just a moment. All right, so yeah, I wanted to go ahead and take a group photo of everyone. So if you feel comfortable, feel free to come off of your camera, just so that we can capture this moment. Okay, so I'm gonna take the photo now. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so now if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself or go ahead and ask in the chat. Okay, Sidika, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hi, yes, my name is Sidika. I live in a condo, and in the beginning, you showed a slide which said you have three heat pump contractors, but you never mentioned about them. So it would be nice if we can get some information on heat pumps and contractors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. And so we will be sharing more information about that tomorrow as well. So we have two contractors who specialize in heat pump, heating, and air conditioning. They're called Air Concepts and J. Martin. And then we have another company who specializes in heat pump water heaters. They're called Water Heater Warehouse. And in our resource email tomorrow, we're going to be sharing you the price offerings that they have. And if you're interested in getting a quote from any of them, you can let us know via email. All right. Any other questions?
Also, everyone that's asked for a quote in the chat, I've noted you down.
And the person who asked the question about the heat pumps, if you have any specific question about heat pumps, also you can put it in the chat or you can ask. We'll be happy to answer.
Okay, so I'm seeing a question from Vivian who says, we have Tesla solar panels for almost 10 years. We now have EVs. Can new panels be added to our current system?
Yeah, you can definitely expand the solar system. There's some nuances around that, especially if you're grandfathered under a more favorable net metering agreement. But the answer is absolutely yes. We can walk you through that, see what's the best option. So they're called non-export options. So yeah, we can certainly help you expand your solar system. We do it all the time. It seems like everybody's needs are increasing when it comes to electricity.
Same here. You can do that. We can do that too. You can add solar panels to your existing system.
Great. And then Susanna is asking in the chat, do we have an option of a non-Tesla battery? And I will say the short answer is yes, but maybe the contractors want to share a bit more about that.
Yeah, we use N-phase batteries here. And N-phase batteries do have a 50% longer warranty. And we actually use N-phase inverters. So we have an option where either we do not use any Tesla components. And as a consequence, the warranties are significantly longer.
So we do both. We are kind of like we can do Tesla and Enphase. And yeah, for anybody who doesn't like Tesla products, we are happy to install Enphase. I would say that our 70% of our installations are Enphase microinverters with the batteries, Enphase batteries.
All right. So I'm not sure if this is a request for a quote or just more information, but Waltrod is asking for more information about heat pumps.
So we will be sending that info tomorrow about the contractors contact information, price sheets, and products that they are selling through the program. If you have specific questions, you can ask it now, or you could email us. Also, we'll be happy to respond.
But I guess in a nutshell, so heat pump HVAC is a 2-in-1 appliance that does heating and air conditioning. And it's a much more energy efficient way of heating and cooling your home than traditional HVAC systems. And then heat pump water heaters also are much more energy efficient ways of heating water for your home. And they also pair really well with solar systems because they run on electricity. And so if you have solar in your home as well as heat pump appliances, then you're able to use that solar energy to power the heat pumps.
Yeah, and we could definitely model out your electricity consumption with a heat pump or anything that you're changing from natural gas to electricity. And so you don't have to have your bill explode before you can go solar. So you can do the heat pump first, you can do the solar first, and we can model or whatever you prefer. And if you do the solar first, we can certainly model your increased usage based off those components.
Thank you. Vivian has a follow-up question. So she's asking, will the new panels be added to our current solar system, or do we need a whole new system?
It all depends. If you can send us your information, we will look at your energy needs, how much it is, and what your current system is, and we will design the right system for you. It all depends on what your system is right now.
Yeah, I would generally say it's a separate system. Um, If you went solar prior to April of 2023, you're grandfathered on a old billing structure called Net Energy Metering, NEM 2.0. And so you really want to preserve that. It is easier just to expand it or connect into it. But if you do a standalone, what's called non-export system, you can preserve your grandfather status. And 9 out of 10 times that's more favorable so you can stay on the grandfather clause. If you go back to my presentation and you remember when the utility was compensate you right around a nickel, net metering 2.0, which you're probably grandfathered on, they're compensate you more at a retail rate, closer to that 26 cents. So you probably want a separate system that's non-export. If you do, yeah, so although there's two separate systems, like Stuart pointed out at the beginning, hey, he doesn't interact with it, he doesn't pull any levers, it just works to offset your electric bill. So yeah, I know two systems can sound a little bit complicated, but as soon as it's installed, it's as seamless as one.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Again, feel free to put them in the chat or you can come off mute.
If no one else has a question, I actually may have a clarifying question as well for the experts on the call here, if that's okay.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
I can give it a minute if just to see if any more questions come in as well.
Yeah, I think you can just go ahead, Jocelyn, and maybe other folks have a similar question to you as well.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So one thing I just kind of wanted to get straight in my head a little bit is this commercial tax credit. I think you guys all did a really great job of touching on it. So I just think it can be a little confusing. So it's sounds like, when we were doing these presentations a year ago, it was all about the individual tax credit, right? Which was amazing and felt a little more straightforward. So this commercial tax credit now coming into 2026, what it sounds like is that the commercial solar companies, you guys get the tax credit and are then, I guess, attaching that onto the project total cost and then passing that on to the residence project. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the homeowner gets to utilize it in the form of an instant discount. So yeah, the story was a little more streamlined last year. Hey, government's going to pay for 30%, just file your taxes and do it then. But there were some nuances. Your income had to be equivalent to that 30% tax credit to get it all back the same year. If you owe taxes, it was just an offset. So it's the story was much more streamlined and easy to explain. You're going to get it. But this way, I think it's better for the homeowners. Number one, our program, because it utilizes domestic content, is over 30%. The residential tax credit was only 30. And number two, you do not have to worry about telling your CPA this or filing that way or income or rebates. It's literally wiped off the top in the form of an instant discount in our program. And I'm pretty sure their program is quite similar as well. But instant discount, but ours, we get that little extra 5% because we've chosen to stick with domestic content and not deviate.
Okay, thank you. And that domestic content added bonus discount was super exciting to hear. So thank you guys. Okay, that was my question. So
right on, made in America.
All right, are there any additional questions?
There's a follow-up question from Vivian. If any, okay.
That was covered.
Yeah, so I think we
Okay.
addressed Vivian's already. So now we have a question from Jognu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but please explain how the 25 I think thousand is maybe what that meant to say. The 25,000 loan
A
works.
one Irvine loan, yeah. You want to go
Yeah.
ahead, Jocelyn? You want to take it?
Yes, yeah, definitely. So that is actually with a different division here. So we don't actually deal with that directly at with sustainability, but I can touch on it a little bit from what I've known, interacting with them and things like that. And I can reshare this link with you guys as well. So the $25,000 loan, what it is it is through the City of Irvine. Funding is limited and it's just as it's available. I will say we've been very lucky for the last, 5-ish so years of city council has continued to fund this pooling of money. So we have had this funding more consistently for the last couple of years. However, it is one of those things where funding could go at any time. But allow me to break down for you very quickly what is expected here. So homeowners can be awarded up to $25,000 for larger scale projects. These loans are repaid upon the sale or transfer of the home or property. This is designed to help with critical repairs and specifically sustainability upgrades, which is what I touched on earlier of how solar panels could tie in really nicely with a project like this. We have heard of, just other general repairs for homes, but the intended idea behind this loan is it's critical repairs, if your house needs something major, or sustainability initiatives to kind of continue to push the city's sustainability goals along. Yes. So, and I do believe it's the same thing as the other, the Green Home Grant, which is the $1,500. I believe your home needs to be, what is it, the 1980, built on or before 1980. So they're aiming for older homes to revitalize them, is what the goal is. And you do need to be an Irvine resident as well.
So Jugno, actually, we have worked with the One Irvine loan, and yes, it's $25,000. House has to be built earlier than 1980. It's very easy. Once you apply, once you qualify, they will send a owner like a bidders package. You just have to send it if you're trying to use it for solar or a new roof or heat pump. Just send. If you're doing solar, just send it to us. We'll fill it out and we'll submit it. We'll give it to you, and then you can submit it to the city. It's pretty cool. It's 0% interest rate, and you have to pay it back to the city when you're selling the house. So if you're sitting in that house for 50 years, you don't have to pay it back for 50 years.
Yeah,
It's an amazing loan. Yeah.
It really is. It's a gold star for sure. And that is one of the coolest things in our community that the city offers. So every time I hear that we refund that program, I have heard too, usually it goes very quick. But I think right now, I don't know if they just got more funding or what's going on, but you touched on it hugely, that 0% interest, and once it's paid back upon the sale is huge.
And actually, we have a few customers who have just recently signed up, and we finished installation for them. They actually got the prepaid lease, so they got a 30% discount plus whatever the 70% amount was. They got it funded through that One Irvine loan. So it was a very good deal for them.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Jugno also mentioned, first of all, that the home is not that old, and so it might not qualify, but also, are there any income requirements?
No income requirements for One Irvine loan, just the whole home. But for our prepaid lease, there's no income requirement.
I would also, so sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I would also like to add that when I first started with the city about 3-ish years ago, the original year was 1975 and older, or sorry, built before 1975, on or before. So since I've been here, I have seen that number go up to now 1980 and before. So I would say keep your eyes peeled on it, because they continue to update it and they just want to, continue to see the community revitalized. So even though right now it is 1980, we never know what it could be.
I think initially it was only 70. Did you say it was 79?
72 or 73, I remember.
75?
No, 73, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. Which I'm like, Irvine's not that old, so.
Right.
It will open up for more people. I mean, it's just an incredible program. I always thought that was free money, really.
Yeah. All right, are there any final questions before we wrap up? And also, if you have further questions after the workshop, again, feel free to reach out to us via email at info@ocigosolar.org.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
somebody in the chat said they want to get a quotation from us. How do they find both our contractors on your platform? I'm sure everyone's very familiar with your platform, but how do you direct them to our websites or to us directly?
Yeah, so after the workshop, anyone who has requested a quote, we will facilitate sharing their contact information with the contractors. And then from there, you'll be able to reach out to them directly. But we do ask that folks go through Osico Solar as opposed to reaching out directly to the contractors, just so that we can make sure that you're getting all of the resources and benefits of being a part of the Solarize Irvine program.
Yes, and the price is phenomenal
Of
going through
course,
LC.
yes.
Yeah. Cool.
And then also, would like to be available for our customers, not just when they sign up, but throughout the process and even after installation. Most of them come back also to get, heat pumps, and if they get an EV, they want an EV charger. So we kind of create a database to know who our customers are, who we helped, and who will be continue to service. And also, as Elise said, I think the most important thing is when residents go through us, they get that discount, group discount pricing, right? Like if they call Simply Solar and they don't remember to say, I'm participating in the Solarize Irvine program, a salesperson who's answering it may not know that they are qualified to get that discount. So that's why we'd like to process the inquiries.
Yes. Okay, so Susanna is asking, since the equipment is a purchase, are there restrictions for homes where the land is leased?
No, there's no issue for us. No. Even if the land, like you're talking about Irvine, right? Yeah, all land is leased over here, correct?
No.
No?
Not all.
No, UCI. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not an issue for our in-house prepaid lease.
If she's talking about University Hills, we have 300 homes that have gone through this program.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in that neighborhood alone, which is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Because you do own the home in that case. You just lease the land.
For 100 years, right? 99 years lease.
Okay.
That will end one day,
Okay. All right. Any final questions then? All right. Well, thank you everyone so much. Thank you all for staying on a bit over as well. And we are so grateful again for the City of Irvine, as well as our installers. And we look forward to, continuing to work with you all and to encourage everyone to get solar and get clean energy for their homes.
Thanks.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good evening. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.